Absolutely delighted to be joined by John Fury here at the press conference for Fury against White. John, how proud are you? Your son, in just a few weeks' time, is going to be headlining at the National Stadium here at Wembley.
I've always been proud of Tyson. Look how he carried it on his own. He don't need any other person at his party. He is the one and only Alpha Omega. You know, at the end of the day, he's the best in the world. It's a Tyson Fury roadshow. You know, these are just mandatories. They're behaving like mandatories. There's no special about him or any other man. He's just going to get on with his job, defend his belts, and just keep laughing all the way to the bank.
What do you make of the fact that Dillian White isn't here today?
They don't want to have a meltdown in front of Tyson, do they? Because they know Tyson is the king of the ring, but he's also the king of head games, and he's just not intelligent enough to deal with Tyson. And it's a good job he never come, because him and his family and his entourage will look very stupid today, and they probably would have been a punch-up. You know what I'm saying? Because we come prepared. You know, we're all Spartans, warriors. I'm an old man. I'm not my son. Never was, never will be, but I'll have an old scrap. These people talk the walk, but they don't want to walk the walk. We will talk the talk and walk the walk. Win, lose, or draw. And I think that's what they didn't want here today. You know, we come in force. We've got a good little crew here with us. We wasn't bothered about having a scrap. But that's by and by. That's the small talk of it. But the main thing is he couldn't deal with Tyson's brain power. That was what it was.
You've certainly been walking the walk in training camp. Everybody's been getting involved in Morecambe. Just how good is Tyson look at the moment? And we've still got weeks to go before this fight.
Let me clarify. Nobody's been getting involved in Morecambe. Only the people that should be getting involved. They know what they're doing. We're awaiting Sugar Hill's appearance in another few days. When he gets over here, we're full in flight. But at the minute, he's doing well. He trains every day anyway. We're just ticking over at the moment. We're ahead of schedule. His weight's right. You know, we'll start the sparring soon. You know, and like I say, we will train for this gentleman on this pitch here like any other man. You know, he's defending his WBC World Heavyweight title, and we want to make sure he gets a win. We won't underestimate nobody, and that's my job not to do. And when they get complacent, I will stop them. I'll say, get your head back on. Everything's a threat. They're 6'5", 18 stone. They've got a puncher's chance, so let's work on all that. You know, we've got it all covered. Tyson's too intelligent, too smart, too slick. He beats him in every department, not just this gentleman. Any other man. I haven't seen the heavyweight out there yet can even come close to Tyson. I reckon he could beat people like this without a camp. I really do, but we're going to put the work in, we're going to do what's right and get on with it, you know.
What sort of threat do you think Dillian White poses for Tyson?
Absolutely none. None whatsoever.
Do you see it being a really comfortable night here at Wembley?
He's just going to play with him. Just like a cat to play with a ball, or will he play with him? And when he thinks he's had enough of the games, he'll knock him out. Tyson can knock him out anytime he wants. You know, to be honest with you. I don't think, to be honest and truthful with you, he's a good kid. You know, he's done this and done that, but he's not boxed the people Tyson's boxed. He's not had the world experience at the top level as what Tyson has. Tyson's just too good in all departments. He'll come with swinging and blaring. When he runs out of ideas, he'll get sick of himself and that'll be it. I see him quitting on the stool, tell you the truth. He's not going to want to be carried out. He'll quit on the stool. My arm's gone. It's happened before, hasn't it?
And if that happens, what next? What else? It's been an incredible career so far. What else would you like to see your son achieve?
Well, at the minute, we're not even sure this is going to happen. There's a lot of politics around this fight, and we've got the pending war abroad. You know, because in my opinion, you know, Hitler started off around with the Polish people, didn't it? End up a world war. This could end up the same way. We could end up involved and be none of it. So let's just deal with Dillian White today. We're going to deal with him, get him out of the way, and we'll see how the world is after the 23rd of April.
And finally, how do you see the rest of the heavyweight division playing out this year? Do you think we will get this rematch between Usyk and Joshua, and where does that leave us?
Well, unless there's an abrupt end to what's going on in the Ukraine with Russia and that, I don't think you're going to see it, are you? It's impossible, because one's running up and down with a gun in his hand, playing soldiers for his country, and well, he should do. You know, he's defending his country like the other Klitschko brothers. So his mind won't be on boxing, his mind won't be on Anthony Joshua, his mind will be on being a good soldier and defending his country. And the Ukrainian people can only be proud of him. But let's have a small prayer for all those Russian guys who didn't want the war. You know, there's a lot of guys out there, they've got to do this and got to do that because their president said they've got to do it. But let me tell you, my thoughts with all those Russian guys who don't want this war. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody's a warmonger, are they? You know, but that's just my opinion. I'm not going to talk politics. I'll probably get shot myself.
Absolutely. And one very final one. I'm sure you'd have seen the Josh Taylor fight against Jack Cashel on Saturday. A lot of people are still incensed about the scoring of that fight and what happened. What did you make of it, and how can we try and fix this? Because a lot of people are very unhappy with boxing when these sort of things happen.
This is boxing. Let me say this much. What's his name? Josh Taylor. He was on the front foot all night. It wasn't the best Josh Taylor we've seen. I think he lost too much weight. The £17 to get off a day before is ridiculous. It's unprofessional. I don't know why they do this. But let me say, Jack Catterall fought out of his skin. He didn't freeze. He done Lancashire proud, and like I say, what can you say? These things happen in boxing, but it was Jack Catterall's night, and where does he go from here? If you win a fight, I'm one of these. I'm a realist. I speak my heart and the truth. I love the Scotch people. I got a lot of fans up there, and I like them and they like me. But let me tell you my truth list. It was Jack Catterall's night. You know what I'm saying? If my son was to have the same evening, I'd have walked to him on there and picked his hand up and say, here's your real winner. Because that's what kind of man I am. If my son gets beat, we don't want any soft decisions. We don't want any down decisions. Give the right man the verdict on the night. We can all come again. Everybody has a bad night. And I'm sure that was not Josh Taylor of old. But he happened to be there. Catterall fought a blinder. It was the best performance of his full career. And I do believe Jack Catterall should have got the decision. And it should be overturned, in my opinion. Let the right man win. Overturn it, start again, and whatever, But he should be the undisputed champion, Jack Catterall from Chorley. So that's my opinion. But I like Josh Taylor. He's a good kid, and I'm sure he's better than that. But on the night, Catterall won. He was a better man.
Is there any way of fixing it whereby this doesn't happen again, or is scoring a fight so subjective that sometimes you will get different readings of a fight from different people?
The thing is, they've got these judges, so-called judges, and for my money, they don't know the game enough. Because how could anybody make Josh Taylor on a night a 4 and 5 round winner? What was he looking at? I don't get it. So those people should not have a judging job. They should be vetted properly and be told, right, it's got to be a unanimous thing. If somebody, let's put it this way, we wouldn't do it in a court of law, would we? Or the jails would be full of guilty verdicts and half of them would be innocent. So listen, it's going to happen. It's been in boxing since it started. One man's come out of nowhere. He's upset the apple cart. The other one's a favourite. He's the money man. He was in Scotland. And he has had the benefit of an own-time decision. But listen, it's got to be sorted out. You know what I'm saying? And they never do it. They're going to have an inquiry. We know that. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. But yet nothing gets done. So we're still in the same position. So unless you sort these so-called judges out and get proper people judging it, fair judges, what's not biased, let's say, it's going to keep happening. It's all down to the judges. Get the right judges who don't wear their heart on their sleeve, who's not got favouritism, and you'll see a better job all round. But I do believe it's a fight game. If my son done the same thing, I'd say, OK, no problem, time beat by a better man. And my son wouldn't have that anyway. He'd have walked to Catterall and put his hand up. He said, no, here's your winner. He wouldn't have accepted that, because we're Furies and we're different to the rest of the world. That's my opinion anyway. But listen, I enjoyed the fight. It was a cracking scrap, and I'm sure Josh Taylor's got a lot better nights ahead of him. But that night belonged to Jack Catterall.